Hello.
Oh, hello, Zia.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing fine today, thank you.
Yeah, it's so great. What are you up to today?
Oh, I'm going to go visit a friend who needs to talk about her English.
Yeah, it's so great. Thank you so much. You are helping a lot of people learn English, and that is exactly the kind of thing that we really need these days. That is exactly such a great thing about humanity.
Well, it's nice when we care about each other, isn't it?
Definitely. Okay, as you might be in the picture, that today we are going to talk about the fluency step, as we talked about it in the previous video, and it was kind of general. And today I just thought that we are going to, what if we break it down and talk about it more specifically about the importance and the steps of building how to become fluent, and it is the sort of questions that I get asked a lot, and I just want you to answer this important question for us.
Well, first of all, you have to be dedicated to give the time necessary to practice English.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have someone you can talk to who's a friend who also wants to learn English, so you have to talk in English 30 minutes to an hour a day and
yeah,
try to do it without interruption.
definitely. Yeah, sure. I think nothing is as effective as talking to a person that you have around you. And it's very effective for a lot of language learner. Specifically for me, it really worked out. For example, when I started learning a new language, I had a friend around me. And when I talked to him a lot, and every single day I just thought that I was getting better. And it just helped me so much with this learning journey.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm so glad to hear that because the practice and the time that you have to employ is so important. And then if you're doing it with a friend, it can be lots of fun.
Definitely, that is exactly the kind of thing. Okay, I've received a number of questions from some friends that they have asked us to just answer these important questions. The first question is, what do you think fluency really is in English? Does fluency means to talk without any interruptions, or I mean, without having a lot of pause in, or does it mean to just do in other way? What do you think?
I think that the word enunciation is very important to be able to enunciate or to speak the word clearly. And you don't have to speak it quickly. You can speak it clearly and be sure that there are enough time between words so you're not running words together. Because if you want fluency, that means you want the other person to understand you. So, being careful with how you pronounce each word is the first key to fluency.
Definitely. That is so good. I heard some people saying that when they try to talk to another person, they usually just keep trying to just speak fast. It doesn't really matter to them to just talk, I mean, clearly. I think clarity is the most important thing in language learning. If we just know the importance of clarity, it doesn't mean that we have to talk fast so that we would look more fluent in English. And what do you think about this? Do you agree on this point with me?
Yes, I agree with you, Zia. That's very important not to be too fast and kind of show off that you know English better than you do.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
better to be honest and speak the words clearly and make sure that the pronunciation is correct. And that's where you need to practice with maybe something online that will tell you exactly how to pronounce that word.
Yeah, sure. You know, uh, Here is another question I received. Uh, when a person starts to just become fluent in English, how he or she can really practice their pronunciation, or for example, pronunciation of the words. For example, if we are going to consider a word like the word direct, and in British English it is like direct. For example, in American English it's direct, and how they can really differentiate and how they can really assure themselves that they are really pronouncing them correctly and in the correct structure. And what do you think? What should they really do to just stay on the right track?
I think they have to select which form of English they are going to major in. Is it going to be American English or is it going to be British English? Because if you start mixing them, it will be confusing. So it's better to decide, first of all, I am going to study only British English, or I am only going to study American English, because the pronunciations do differ quite a bit.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Okay, I just something just came on my mind that I've seen some of my friends when they try to talk in English, and when they are around me, there are a lot of the times they are intermixing a lot of British vocabulary with American vocabulary pronunciation. I mean that it makes this something kind of it makes the words or the things very confusing, and it's really hard for the audience to just understand what do they really mean here. And I think it's really important that we really have to understand the importance and the pronunciation of the word first, and then we better use them in when we are with friends or with our colleagues.
Yes, a native speaker from England will be able to ask you, well, what do you mean by that word? And please say it again. And another person from America will say, well, what do you mean? What did you say? And so you can have a nice conversation when you even have a difference in pronunciation, because it builds your vocabulary just in that conversation time.
Definitely. It is very important, I think, to be just differentiated before we try to use and memorize the kind of words we want to. Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
sure.
agree.
Thank you. Here is the last question. You know, when a beginner, for example, starts learning a new language, they usually try to just learn anything they face with. For example, to consider they are memorizing some words. For example, sometimes they memorize any words they encounter with. For example, they do not care about the for example, basic vocabulary or intermediate vocabulary or advanced vocabulary. And I think it's really important for them to be differentiated before they start memorizing them. What do you think?
Well, I think that you can use even the most simple vocabulary like door, door, and then build sentences. Open the door, close the door. Things like that. Is the door made of wood? So things like that. But you can build on a simple vocabulary word. I was helping a friend yesterday with the word water. So
Yeah,
we were talking about cold water and hot water
yeah,
and drinking water or washing with water, things like that. You can build vocabulary sentences that make it very applicable and also build proficiency and pronunciation with sometimes just the simplest words. And it helps with communication, because otherwise you're not going to be able to be understood by a native wherever you live.
yeah, sure. Thank you so much. It is such a great help. I am sure it's going to be helpful for a lot of language learner. And one thing not to forget that I think in fluency, tenses are also really important. And some very, low or basic levels, when they try to learn English, they are using a lot of simple sentences. For example, they do not care about correct particles. as you mentioned, like someone
Yes.
told you that they were supposed to go to the market. They told you in a way like they go to market. They go market, or I don't know, something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they said, I go store. I go
Yeah.
store. Well, what does that mean? I need to go to the store, or I went to the store yesterday, or how do I go to the store? So they need to, like you say, have the article and have all of the tenses correct so the person understands, is this past, present, or future?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Okay, thank you so much. It is going to be very, very useful for a lot of language learners, especially for those who are watching this video. And I hope that they subscribe to this channel so that they can be aware about our future videos that we will be making. And I'm sure it's going to be such a great help. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Zia. You're a good helper for those who are learning.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. I'll catch you up in the next video.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.